Aloha and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Dr. Mistisa Goss. I'm the program director here at Mental Health America of Hawaii. I'd like to say a big warm mahalo to Dr. Lauren Innamorato, who's joining us today to teach us about sleep hygiene. She is currently an administrative support technician in operations management for the U.S. Navy in Pensacola, Florida. She has a PhD in psychology with a specialization in trauma and disaster relief, where she studies stress and coping among veterans. She has research and clinical experience assisting military service members struggling with stress and trauma, and she herself is a U.S. Army officer, combat veteran, having deployed twice to Iraq. She knows very well how stressful situations can affect oneself and how to effectively deal with it to remain healthy. She takes pride in informing and in helping others to feel their best. Welcome, Lauren.
Thank you for having me.
So I'll go ahead and hand it over to you.
Okay, thank you. So today we're going to talk about sleep hygiene during this stressful time with the pandemic, especially going on, a lot of issues going on with people having to work at home, homeschool, things like that. So we're going to go talk a little bit about sleep, why it's important, and go through some tips and tricks to kind of help you get the best sleep. So some problems with sleep. A lot of people have different types of issues with sleep, whether it's difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, waking up early, just having poor quality of sleep, kind of tossing and turning a lot. Different symptoms, specifically with insomnia, which is a long period of time with difficulty getting good sleep. Some symptoms that people can have is feeling fatigued and sleepy during the day, can affect issues with concentration, with memory, staying alert. Irritability is also a big one. And the biggest thing that people, once you have like one bad night of sleep, is like, oh, I hope I can get to sleep again the next night. And then you're just kind of constantly worrying, like, will I be able to get to sleep? Will I be able to have enough sleep? Will I be able, to function the next day for whatever is going on in your life? So that constant worry kind of plays into the sleep and people having issues with sleeping. Some things that typically affect sleep: shift work, irregular work scheduling, especially now having to juggle everything going on in life, whether or not you're having to quarantine at home, if the state's shut down, or if, like for me, my job, I'm currently doing an alternating day schedule, so every other day I'm off, so it's very different from what I'm used to. Pattern is a little messed up. Another thing is like other things that can affect sleep: energy drinks, caffeine consumption. A lot of times people who don't feel like they have good sleep, once they get up in the morning, first thing, like coffee, and then, energy drink in the afternoon, any type of caffeine that can kind of keep them going and keep it moving to the end of the day, can affect sleep that night. Even though in the moment, everybody's just kind of worried about staying awake for the day. Another thing, unemployment, financial stress, which is kind of big going on right now. Alcohol and substance use can affect sleep. There is kind of a misconception with alcohol. A lot of times people think, oh, like if I, relax and have a drink or two, like it'll help me go to sleep. It will help with some sleepiness, but in the long run, it doesn't provide the quality of sleep that you need. So alcohol use can be an issue with sleep. And then lastly, health conditions. Whether you have chronic pain or reflux disease, laying down sometimes, uncomfortable, and that can kind of get you tossing and turning. That can help, that will affect your sleep. Some new stressors going on right now, especially with the pandemic, is the quarantining, having to isolate, the telework, homeschooling. A lot of people getting cabin fever, just not knowing what to do. There's only so much Netflix you can watch. Having to have the social distance from close friends and family, not getting that real face-to-face interaction in person that we all really enjoy. And no traveling, which is very sad. A lot of people can't go out and travel. Otherwise, you'd be having to quarantine again. Okay, so like I said earlier, so insomnia is something that a professional can diagnose you with. A lot of people just have just general little bit of sleep issues, but the habits that we have leading up to sleep and whatever, right before you go to sleep or, your ritual to go to sleep, different habits a little bit throughout the day and then close to bedtime can push you into that kind of threshold of insomnia. So again, only a professional can diagnose you with insomnia, but we're going to talk today about sleep hygiene, so different habits that can help you adjust to get better sleep. Okay, so the circadian clock. So this is a internal sleep clock that everybody has. It is based on a 24-hour period, and it is regulated by your body temperature. So you kind of have that natural cycle going on. Obviously, there are things that can affect it. Like I said earlier, shift work, especially if you work nights or swing shift, your sleep schedule is not typical for like the nighttime to go to sleep, how our bodies are just naturally designed for. Another thing that can affect it is traveling and jet lag. So everybody knows if you travel multiple time zones, that can really affect your sleep cycle, and your body's trying to catch up to wherever time you're at now, but you still kind of feel like, oh, like this is my time, back home, and I do need to go to get to bed now. So your body kind of has that internal battle with that. Okay, so a big thing that I talk to a lot of patients about when going to bed is the tired but wired feeling. So it's really important to know the difference between being tired and being sleepy. So when you're tired, your body is just kind of drained. So like after, a hard workout or, a long day at work, like you feel tired. Your body is fatigued. That is tired. You should not go to bed when you're tired because you will be put in the tired but wired. Always help people go to bed when you're sleepy. And when you're sleepy, you can't keep your eyes open. You're trying to read a book and you're kind of dozing off, or you're, kind of dozing, watching TV or a movie. That's when you should go to bed with it. If you go to bed when you're tired, your brain is still going to be going, and you need that quiet time to when your brain kind of helps shut down everything so you can get the full relaxing sleep that you need. Also tell them if you feel sleepy and you feel like you're kind of, dozing off, go ahead and get in the bed and try to go to sleep. The golden rule is about 15 to 20 minutes. If during that time your brain's thinking, you're kind of going through different things and you just can't fall asleep, get up, do something else, like read a book, listening to like relaxing music, like classical type music, and then get back into bed and try and go to sleep again. If you wake up in the middle of the night, same thing. If you can't doze off within the 15 and 20 minutes, get up, go to the bathroom, get a drink, just try and read again. Just get out of the bed. Having the habit of getting out of the bed helps train your brain to think like, okay, when I'm in the bed, that's when I go to sleep. That's my sleep time. So if you do activities or things in the bed, then that can kind of mess with your behaviors, with your brain telling your body like, oh, I'm in bed, I need to go to sleep. Okay. If you do have a lot of thinking and a lot of planning and you are worrying about things, there's a thing called worry time that I would tell patients to do. Especially a lot of people who kind of have a lot of stress going on, have some anxiety about something coming up, whether it's a test, physical fitness test or an academic test, something for school, that they're kind of thinking about all these things. So I tell them sometime in the afternoon, set aside about 30 minutes to have your worry time. And with that, it's you coming up with a plan of things. You don't have to write a whole lot down. You just kind of jot down the issue, what's going on, and then you come up with a list of possible solutions for it. I tell my patients definitely come up with at least 3 things. If you have 2 things and you really can't think of a third one, if it's like something even outrageous as like winning the lottery or, you know, the superhero powers for something, like then just write it down. Really try and get, you know, as many possible solutions to the issue as you can. And having that worry time in the afternoon is like your set time. So anything after that worry time, you kind of have to tell yourself, hey, I had my worry time. I'll have it again tomorrow. Set it aside and kind of continue on with your day with what you're doing with. Anytime during the day after that, you know, tomorrow I'll deal with it again. And then do your list the next day with different solutions, writing the solutions down again, just having more time to think about it. That when you try to go to bed, you're not going to have the issue with that. And doing it in the afternoon will give you time to relax during the rest of the day, so you don't have to deal with that. Okay, so some tips for specifically sleep hygiene that I like to tell my patients. A lot of people have the misconception of like, oh, I need X number of hours of sleep. But everybody's different. You really just need to get as much sleep as your body needs. Whether it's, you know, some people run fine on 5 or 6 hours of sleep. Others, like myself, I prefer to have 8 or 9 hours of sleep. But, you know, when I know my body feels good with, then, you know, that's what I try to stick with. Extra time in bed can kind of mess up your sleep pattern. You try to keep a routine 7 days a week, only adjusting your time about an hour or so. So my husband's really bad about it. Like on the weekends, he'll like sleep till like 11 instead of having to get up at 5 o'clock. But Sunday rolls around and he can't get to sleep, and Monday morning comes early for him to go to work, and he kind of struggles and he's kind of sluggish to do that, to get ready for work and work throughout the day. I keep my alarm set at 6 o'clock. I get up during the week, and then on the weekends I have my alarm set for 7. If I hit snooze once, you know, that's fine. But I try not to get too out of whack with either going to bed or waking up, so I can kind of keep that same pattern throughout. Another thing to keep in mind is your bedroom environment. So having no to little light is good. I suggest getting blackout curtains. They're the greatest thing. I have them all throughout my house. Recently, the nightlight in the bathroom was kind of bothering us, like, oh, it's a little bit brighter than what we want. So we just go ahead and shut the bedroom door now. So we have as little light as possible in the bedroom that we can still see and get up if we need to. Also, having the temperature down of what's comfortable for us, that's cool. We have fans going. Gives kind of the white noise so we don't hear anything outside going on. Also helps keep the room cool, which is really great. We don't have an alarm clock. We do just set our phones as our alarms. So not having the big clock, like with big bright lights, like right there in your face, that if you can't fall asleep, you know, have the tendency of looking over at the clock and you're like, okay, I got to get up at this time. So you count down, like if I go to bed right now, I'll get like 5 hours of sleep. And then you look at it again, like, okay, if I go to bed now, I'll get like 4 hours of sleep. That can really help hinder going to sleep, because you have like that worry feeling of, I'm not going to get enough sleep and I need to get to sleep. So not having a clock visible is actually a really good idea for that. Other things to do, avoid caffeine about 4 to 6 hours before bed, and whether that's like food, drinks, or any type of medication. Have that earlier in the day, so your body has time to process it and not really in your system when you're trying to go to bed. Also, try to avoid nicotine, and then again, alcohol can make you feel sleepy, but you really do get fragmented sleep, and it's not the best quality sleep and you won't feel as refreshed. So just stick with alcohol about dinner time, nothing after that. And then exercise. You should not exercise so close to trying to go to bed because you get blood flowing and everything's, you know, you kind of feel a little amped up. So trying to go to bed so close to doing like real vigorous exercise could actually hurt you more than it does benefit you. But I do stress regular exercise can promote healthy sleep patterns and healthy sleep throughout the night. I definitely feel much better knowing that I exercise routinely, that I will have better sleep than if I have like a period of time where I am not working out or really going to the gym or doing anything. I definitely feel that in my sleep. So yeah, exercise is good for you, for your body in general, but it's also good to help with sleep. So also hot showers, hot baths. So again, that warm, you know, hot shower that you take gets your blood flowing. It's kind of like exercising. So some people say it kind of relaxes, which is fine as long as you take like a short bath or shower rather than a long bath. So again, kind of figuring out what works best for you because everybody is different, but typically not so close to bedtime. The one thing everybody hates that I say is please avoid napping during the day. A lot of people really like naps. I get it. I enjoy a good nap on occasion. But if you are having kind of a consistent pattern with sleep issues, taking naps is not good. You want to train your body to have, you know, the one set period of sleep rather than just kind of being fragmented. You're not going to get the full restful sleep that your body and your brain needs if you do take naps. And if you do feel the need for a nap or want a nap, just do it earlier in the day. Anything after about 3 p.m. is not going to be so beneficial for that night's sleep. Also, you know, a light bedtime snack is good. Something like a glass of milk, small bowl of cereal. I do that occasionally, but nothing high in sugar, high in fat, not a lot of like vegetables or fruit, anything. And again, caffeine to kind of keep you up. Nothing that'll give you like a sugar high that'll give you issues trying to go to sleep. And also avoiding excess liquids at night. So even though you need to stay hydrated, you know, do it throughout the day. Don't try and make that goal like end of the day, right before you go to bed, trying to get all the liquids in that you can. You will probably wake up and have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, which could, you know, could have issues with you trying to fall back asleep. So just keep that to a minimum. So another thing that people who have sleep issues deal with turning to medication. So yes, medication can help. It is meant to be a short-term problem, not a long-term solution. You should not be dependent on them to fall asleep or stay asleep. Really, the habits that you do is what needs to change with the sleep hygiene so that you will have better, more restful sleep. Over-the-counter medications do have a very limited impact on people. A lot of studies have shown that it is kind of a placebo effect, which is okay, you know, you can take it. But again, like if you do it regularly, it's just gonna wear off rather quickly. It's mainly like 2 to 4 weeks and it really will have no effect. So really stick with the healthy sleep hygiene habits and get into a pattern to help with that. That's gonna be way more beneficial than any type of medication. Okay. If you have a few days of kind of issues with sleep, a good suggestion would be to have a sleep diary. So sleep diary tracks your sleep patterns, so you can kind of get a big picture of how your sleep is good or bad. You can kind of see like what the problems are looking at from a big picture rather than in the moment with it. There are a lot of different apps out there that are free that you can either input your data for, what time you got into bed, what time you fell asleep. Obviously, you would fill this out the next morning. If you woke up in the middle of the night and you just kind of input the times in there. There are other trackers. If you lay your phone on your mattress next to you, any of your movements, it'll register on that. Also, it'll hear for noises that if you're snoring or kind of rolling around in your bed, it will pick up on that and it will gather the data that way. So you can kind of see your pattern with that. Smartwatches also are really good for tracking your sleep. You can check it out, the next morning, and usually the trackers and smartwatches will automatically calculate the data for you. The apps that you have to put in the data, you just put in all your times, and most of them will go ahead and calculate your sleep efficiency. So like how well you slept through the night, or if you're tossing and turning too much. Some will tell you periods of time where you snore and things like that. So you can kind of take a look at what's going on while you're sleeping. Okay, so I have here a bunch of helpful apps that can help throughout your day to get you in a better position to be able to fall asleep at night. I am not saying you have to pay for them. I'm definitely use a lot of these, and I'm all about the free apps on there. But Calm is a really great one. I use this every night. They have sleep stories that they have on there that's recorded. Some celebrities are on there, other like doctors and stuff. Pretty much like read you a bedtime story, but they have very nice, calming, soothing voices. And then, yeah, your phone just turns off when the story is over. They also have a lot of music on there, a lot of like classical stuff with specific tones to try and help target your body to relax and be able to go to sleep. I do know right now, if you have an American Express card, if you get the Calm app, it's like you get it for a year for free right now if you get it through your American Express card, if you sign up for that. But they do have a free version with some freebies on there. The CBTI coach, so that is cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. So that's the therapy that therapists use for people who have insomnia. It's a great app, it's free. It has a sleep diary in there. It has tons of information about sleep, sleep tools. You can set different alarms. You can even set an alarm and have your worry time through that app on there. So it's really great. Headspace is another good app that's targeted for a lot of like meditation, relaxation, and they actually partnered up with Nike. So in the Nike Run Club app for running to help with exercise, which this app is free, you can have like different coaches guide you through all different types of runs and lengths with that. And with them teaming up with Headspace, they do have some guided runs with the founder of Headspace to give you kind of more of a meditative time while you're doing your run, which is really great. So some other trackers to help with sleep that I found is really good. Sleep Cycle is really great. You can just turn that app on and set it down next to you when you go to bed, and it'll track your movements and things like that, and it'll give you your sleep efficiency. I have Apple products, so in the Apple Clock, they have a bedtime. So you can set what time you want to go to bed, your target bedtime, and want to wake up, and it'll notify you. You can set it about, mine's like a half hour before my targeted bedtime. That tells me, hey, you need to start your bedtime routine. So that's really great. The Fabulous app is really great if you want to get into having, certain habits that you do. Whether it's mine, I have like wake up in the morning, make sure I drink a glass of water in the morning. In the afternoon, it'll tell me again, drink more water. At night, it'll tell me like, hey, time to get ready for bed, time to have your reading time before bed. So it's really great that it'll remind you, and you can, earn rewards and stuff when you're saying, yes, I've done this habit consistently. So it's really helpful. Again, MyFitnessPal is a good tracker, especially if you're looking at like your diet, trying to see how well you're doing eating. They do measure your water, if you exercise. So it's a really great tracker for just all in general in your life. But it does help see the pattern throughout the day to help with sleep at night. So again, the exercise, the Nike Run Club, the Nike Training Club, some great ones. The Fit On app is completely free, and there's tons of workouts from celebrities, from celebrity trainers, to help keep you motivated and, moving around in your house, mainly, since most people can't go to the gym right now. And then again, music to kind of help soothing. I listen to the Spa Radio on Apple Music. It's really great. I'll even put it on when I'm in the shower. So it's very nice. And again, a lot of people like Spotify or Pandora have tons of playlists like that to kind of help you wind down and relax at the end of the day. And then, so some additional resources to help with sleep. You have sleepeducation.org, tons of information about that, about sleep on that one. The National Sleep Foundation and the American Sleep Association are really good. They can even help you with, what kind of mattress and, pillows work best for you if you really want to get technical in your sleep environment. And then also the Division of Sleep Medicine at Harvard Medical School. They have tons of great information, a lot of information on sleep hygiene. That's all they do is study sleep. So it's really great if you're looking for any additional information. Okay. And that is everything on sleep.
Thank you so much, Dr. Innamorato. If anyone has any questions regarding some of the pieces that were covered in the presentation today, please feel free to reach out to Mental Health America of Hawaii at info@mentalhealthhawaii.org. You can also call us at 808-521-1846. Thank you.